Good news, car is on the trailer. It wasn't easy because since it's been parked over there, that wheel had seized on. So despite disconnecting the handbrake, hammering the drum, I could just about get it to turn, but that's about all. So Andrew, my colleague, helped me push it down the hill, and then my weedy little winch did the rest. So that's all good, but you know, it left a mess where it was. It's like a time capsule of rust in all the different areas I've repaired. So I'm not going to have time to clean that up at the moment. So I'm just going to put my covers back over it, and then that pallet, so that other people don't park on it and get punctures or something silly like that. But yeah, looking good. Just need to finish loading bits and pieces and some tools. So hopefully I can do some work, finish the rest of it off when I'm at the show. Right, I think it's about 10 o'clock, so I'm an hour behind my self-imposed schedule. Car is on the trailer. I've filled it full of crap. I mean, it is literally brimming with crap and stuff that I can tit around with. You might notice these day glow green adornments. Basically, the bonnet release doesn't work because I couldn't find the little bobbin that goes on the latch thing. So that's just strapped down. There's also only one hinge on it because I couldn't find the other blue one. So I'll be fitting another one at the show. And then at the rear, I don't know whether I ever videoed this, but basically I had to chop through the rear latch from the inside with a 9-inch grinder to try and actually open the boot. So I never got round to reinstating the boot latch. So yeah, hence the second day glow greeny yellow strap. One final word before I set off is if you're coming to the show, don't expect this to look nice, because it doesn't. Even though I've done loads of hard work to it, it still looks like a heap of crap, and even the work I have done, because I'm an amateur painter, looks a bit shit. So don't turn up expecting it to look really pretty, because it ain't. Started coming around the M25, and the wheel pressure sensors or tyre pressure sensors in the BMW started going off. Pulled over, couldn't see anything wrong. Just got to, what is it, Cobham services, and checked all the pressures. They're absolutely fine. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think it's more a fault with the car than it is a fault with anything else. But it gives me an opportunity to check all my straps. Everything looks good, nothing's fallen off yet, so I'm going to carry on. Safely arrived at the show. Oh wow, look at this. That's almost like Gotti. That's cool, like it. I'll have to go and talk to that guy later. But yeah, car safely delivered. Actually bumped into someone I knew halfway along the M40, so we did a bit of convoying. That's Sam, who's got the Toyota, which is somewhere down there now. I'll go and find it later. There's a lot of nice cars here already. Lots of Rovers, traction engine or steam engine over there. There's a lot of super mint stuff, which is a bit different to what I thought you'd get at the restoration show. There are definitely some works in progress. I've seen a few like stripped back blasted body shells as well on dollies. That looks like a really early two-door Range Rover. Looks like he's had a bit of a suspension lift. Split screens, bubbles, Lotus, I don't know what they are. But yeah, so this is the Thursday setup day. There's lots of random stuff just rolling in. So I'll do a proper wander around later on when I get some time. You would think that being at the show, I'd take it easy, but I'm not. I would like to get this thing running by the end of the show weekend. So I've just poured some diesel in, not too much, because I don't want it to spill everywhere. And then I'm going to try and bleed up the fuel system. So I've got a little bag under there. That's the bleed screw. That's my manual pump with a little, I don't know, lever on the bottom. So you pump that up and down, and hopefully once that's filled with fuel, you'll get fuel and air coming out of there. You basically keep pumping until you just get clean fuel. Well, I did a kind of half-assed job of pumping up the fuel filter and bleeding the air out to the lift, or the main pump and the injectors. Had some help from Peter with that, because he used to work on these when they were fitted in Sherpas. So I probably haven't done it as good as it needs to be, but hopefully there's enough in there for it to at least start, or try to start and chug over. The next thing I need is to reinstate the wiring. Unfortunately, there's a wire in that bundle which I cut. Chris, the club historian, has just checked and found that it's just for the cooling fans. So actually, to start the engine, I don't need it. And the fans aren't going to be connected, so they're not going to draw enough current for that to cause a problem. So basically I can start it without worrying about that. I can come back and fix it later. What I do need to fix is the start relay, because as I was feeding the wires through that plate which I painted up, I accidentally pulled the terminal off again, so I'm going to have to re-crimp that, shove it back in the relay holder, fit the relay, put the relay back on its holder back there, and then continue fitting the batteries and all the earths and that around the engine bay. I've been fiddling with this for a while now. Got the wiring pretty much sorted in this corner. Over there I haven't tidied it up to quite the same extent I have this side. This side I put that plate in and everything. The other side I haven't bothered because I know I need to do that repair. All the earths are plugged in, so now I'm going to grab a couple of batteries, put them in and see if I can get it to crank and see whether there's enough diesel getting through to actually try and fire up. I always get nervous doing this. Batteries are in and connected, and we obviously have electrical power. So I'm going to give the glow plugs a glow a couple of times. Oh no. Okay, well that's the first thing. We don't have glow plug relays showing up. But it didn't do that once before, I seem to remember. So just because that's not glowing up doesn't necessarily mean they're not working. Oh, look, there we go. Something going on with the glow plugs. There we go. Off. And then, remembering from last time, by the way, I haven't pulled the cold weather enrichment lever. I'm just going to put my foot on the throttle and start it. How good is that? Maybe I should have moved my bags of crap before I did it. See, I was only about a couple of hours out of target. Needs bleeding on the clutch and the brakes, but how good is that? Idles like a champ. It's about 6 o'clock. I'm gonna go to my hotel now. The car is, well, kind of as it was, not really done much more. Plugged a few other bits and pieces in. I bolted the bonnet on properly, that's about the one thing. I went bodged the bonnet badge back on because that had fallen off. The car is a mess inside. I've basically just thrown everything in it because I want to go home. So I'll come back tomorrow and carry on.